we're going to learn about adding and subtracting whole numbers. Now, I know that you already know a lot about adding and subtracting whole numbers, but sometimes once you learn something and go back and review it, it makes a lot more sense than it did the first few times that you learned it. So I want you to really understand what it means when we're adding and subtracting. So when we're adding numbers together, what we're really doing is working with place values, and we're often regrouping. So in this first example, we have 14 plus 27. So we're going to express this as 1 10 for 14 and 4 1s. And then we'll express it as 2 10s for 27 and 7 1s. So here you can see that expression. We have this 1 10 and 4 1s that represent the idea of 14, and then we have 2 10s and we have 7 1s to represent the idea of 27. Now we're just going to put all this together and do some regrouping. Anytime we have 10 1s, we can replace the 10 1s with a 10. So let's see if we have that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 1s here, and we're going to replace those 10 1s with a 10. When we do this, we end up with an additional 1, so now we have 4 1s instead of just 3 1s, and we are left with just 1 in the 1's place, so our answer is 41. And this is to help you understand why it is we regroup the way we do. So the way we'd normally do this math without thinking through all these steps is we'd add 4 and 7 and we'd get 11. And we'd add 1 and 2, we get 3. But before we added the 1 and 2, we'd realize, oh, we have more than 10 in the 1's place, and we can't have more than 10. So we're going to take any amount that is over 10, and we're going to carry it. So in this case, we leave the amount over 10. So 4 and 7 is 11, so that's 10 plus 1, so we're going to leave the 1 and we're going to carry the 10. But it's just 1 10 that we're carrying, so it's really only one of these yellow bars that we carry over to the 10's place. So instead of having 31, we actually have 41. Or what we started out with was 3 here and 11 there, and so this really means 3 times 10 plus 11 1s. So that's 30 plus 11, which equals 41. In this next video, we have 25 plus 48, and you'll see these expressed because I have 2 10s, which stands for the 20, or the 2 in the 10's place. So 2 times 10 is 20. So 2 10s is 20. And then the 5 would be 5 1s. So plus 5 equals 25. And then I have 48. So I have 4 in the 10's place, which is 40. Plus I have 8 1s, which is going to give me a total of 48, and that's what we're adding. So again, we're just going to regroup, and when we do, we see that we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those 10 1s can be replaced with an additional 10, 1 10 in the 10's place, and then we can just leave those 3 1s here. So we end up going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s, or 6 times 10, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7 times 10. So we end up with 70 plus the 3 that we have here, which is 73. Whereas before we regrouped, we had 60 plus, we had 13 1s, which is also 73. In the next slide, we have 149 plus 273. So 9 plus 3 gives us 12. 4 plus 7 gives us 11, and 1 plus 2 gives us 3. We can't have more than just one digit in each place value. So this is really the same thing as 3 times 100 plus 11 times 10 plus 12 times 1. There's really a lot of ways to think about adding, so whatever works for you is fine. I could add all this up. And I end up with 422. Or the way we commonly do this problem is we would add 9 and 3 to get 12. And then we'd carry the 1. So we'd get our 2 here, and we'd carry the 1 for our 12. So remember, whenever we get the 12, we keep the 2 and we carry the 1 to the next place value. Then 4 plus 7 is 11. But we have to add this one that we carried. So that's how we end up with 12. But of course we keep the 2 and we carry the 1. And so we're left with 1 plus 2, which is 3, but we have to add that additional 1 to give us 4. So as you can see, there are several ways to think about adding. Try this problem. Pause the video. Let's see how you did. 5 plus 7 is 12. So that's 12. 4 plus 2 is 6. So this is the same as 6 times 10 plus 12 times 1. You could do your problem this way. Certainly nothing wrong with that. And you would get 72. The other way you could do it that we commonly see is you add the 5 plus 7 to get 2 and then carry your 1 for the tens place for your 12 and then add 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Pause the video and try these two problems. The first problem you should have ended up with 3043, and the second problem you should end up with 654.